If you are a content creator, marketer or business owner, you know how important it is to stay on top of current trends. These trends can give you a massive boost and make you grow much faster in a shorter amount of time. But how do you discover these trends before everyone else, before they hit the mainstream and then become oversaturated? Well, you can do so by using a trend research and analysis tool like Exploding Topics Pro, which we are going to review in this video. In this Exploding Topics Pro review, we are going to cover what Exploding Topics Pro is, why it is so important and you might need it, what are the features included and what it can do for you, all the benefits, a short dashboard demo, all the pricing plans and which one might be the best for you, as well as some pros and cons. Exploding Topics Pro is a tool that will help you find upcoming trends and opportunities in multiple industries by tracking and analyzing data from multiple sources and then putting everything under one dashboard. You can find under the radar markets, promising startups and even e-com products. But how does the software actually find those trends? Well, everything starts with an analysis of different consumer behaviors across platforms that are available online. Then the software identifies trends even before they become trends by using a trend spotting algorithm. Then, to keep track of trends, the best trends are added to a database, and that database is updated daily with currently around 24,000 plus trends. If you want to know more about the team behind Exploding Topics Pro, then you can check out the About page. I already knew Brian Dean, which is a co-founder and also CEO, because he had a website which is called Backlinko, that has a lot of content about SEO, content marketing, YouTube marketing and much more. But Backlinko was later acquired by SEMrush, which is a popular company in the SEO space because of their tool, which is a pretty advanced keyword research tool. Exploding Topics is averaging now more than $2.3 million in annual recurring revenue, which is a pretty healthy profit, and also makes it so that the company will sustain itself for a very long while. So who is Exploding Topics Pro for? It is great for investors who want to find opportunities before everyone else, especially if they are startups, because they can find trending companies early that have strong signs of growth. It is also great for entrepreneurs preparing their next product launch, because they can find low competition products, categories and markets, or even an idea for their next book, course or any other type of product or service. It is also great for businesses who want to follow trends to drive up revenue and take a more data-driven approach to decision making, for new ventures, projects and more. This is also useful for SEO and content marketing if you want to find topics that will blow up in the future, and you can double check topics or keywords with a keyword research tool and then combine search data and metrics like search volume and competition with topic interest that comes from Exploding Topics, so that you can get even better traffic and a more accurate measure of what you might expect from a content marketing campaign that's targeting multiple keywords. After setting up your account, you will land on the main dashboard, where you can see some highlights of recent topics added to the database. You can also see your trend tracking projects and open one of them if you want to. And these projects will also guide some of the highlights that appear, including related trends. You can also explore trending products, recommended trends, startups making waves, and the last trend reports. You can click on the left menu options to find more. This is where you will find most of the features included with Exploding Topics Pro, like database search, trend tracking, and more. At the bottom of the page, but also on the menu, you will find a button to access the API page, and this is where you can access the API, so that you can fetch data from Exploding Topics Pro to an external source. Now let's see what you are getting with Exploding Topics Pro by exploring the main features. You get access to the trends database, which has more than 24,000 topics to find emerging trends in, so you can navigate through multiple different categories and subcategories like business, tech, health, home, and more. And then you can find specific trends for those, which is great if you don't know the specific trends that you are looking for. Then if you want to get into more specific trends, you can use the trend search, where you can search and track trends, and you can even find related trends that are much longer. And then in terms of SEO, you might actually find long tail keywords that you can use and still have high interest or popularity. Another thing you can do is find tomorrow's products today. You can find under the radar markets, products, and startups. So you have two different sections, one to find products. These are e-com products that you can sort by category. You can filter by revenue and also ratings. This will work well if you use Amazon FBA, if you are into dropshipping or just standard e-commerce. And also for startups, you can find startups depending on different types of funding that they have, where they are at in the funding stage and how they are performing. Then there's also meta trends, which will allow you to see what's coming next in software as a service, finance, health, business, DT, edtech, CPG, and more. In meta trends, you usually have a meta trend, and then you can see a graph where the meta trend is at the center of that graph. It looks something like a topic cluster where you have an inner ring and then an outer ring, and then the meta trend at the center is surrounded by different micro trends. So it is also a great way to find related topics or subtopics. You also get access to weekly trend reports, where you can get early access to high potential trends. These reports are in sort of a newsletter format, where they have breakdowns for every single topic that's included on that report. So if it is, for example, about a company, you will know what the company does, what products it offers, why their products are unique. It is really a complete breakdown of each one of the topics. And with the API access, you can get access to data that comes from Exploding Topics Pro database, but on external applications, dashboards, and all of that stuff. You can still get access to exclusive trends, the proprietary metrics, and more, which is great for developers who want to implement this functionality on other websites or applications. Now let's talk about pricing plans. You have three main plans you can choose from, including entrepreneur, investor, and business. For all of those, you can try the software for 14 days for $1, so that's a paid trial for you to test all of the features. You don't need to worry too much about it, since you can cancel at any time, even during trial. The entrepreneur plan is $39 per month or $468 per year. I would say this is the core plan, because all of the other plans will add features on top of this one. The core features are trend database, trend tracking, trending products, weekly premium trend reports, reports library, meta trends, channel breakdown, and one user seat. All of those features will be included in all of the plans, and then the other plans will add more features on top of those core features. So you will get more features added in, but also the number of user seats will increase with each plan. So the entrepreneur plan is the core plan, and it will be good enough for individuals who need to access trend data and tracking. Then there is the investor plan, which costs $99 per month or $1,188 per year. On top of the entrepreneur features, this also gets trending startups, trend search, CSV exports, and 4 users instead of 1. The investor is good for smaller teams, startups, or of course, startup investors. And this plan strikes a good balance between features and cost. Then there is the business plan, which is the most advanced plan, and it costs $249 per month or $2,988 per year. And this comes with all of the previous features plus custom reports, API access and 10 users. This is great for businesses that have larger teams or businesses overall. It also meets more extensive requirements for API access and custom reports. So if you have a somewhat larger team, even though you have X amount of user seats, you can still use the API to fetch data to an external database so that more people can view that info as well. But that comes also down to how the API is implemented. It's very likely that you may end up comparing exploding topics with Google Trends, but in this case we are talking about Exploding Topics Pro, which is paid and adds much more premium features on top of a regular trend analysis tool. They will help you find exploding topics by using their own proprietary metrics. They have their own specific way of calculating trend growth, which is different from Google Trends. Google Trends only provides relative volume, so you get a score from 0 to 100 so that you can estimate a trend growth, but Exploding Topics Pro instead focuses on absolute volume, which means that it is a much more accurate metric to measure growth in different time frames over time as well, so that you can find sustainable trends as well. Google Trends also clearly doesn't tell you where the trend is, where it's going, and if you should pursue it, while Exploding Topics Pro has a much better breakdown and it will make it much easier to evaluate whether or not you should pursue those trends, because you can find them, track them, and reach a better conclusion. Now here are some of the benefits that you get with Exploding Topics Pro. First, you have a huge strategic advantage because you can find trends before they hit the mainstream or blow up, which is great because you will be having the most advantage out of following those trends and timing them instead of trying to take advantage of them when they have already peaked. You can find a lot of investment opportunities, especially for early bird companies or also known as startups, since you can search for them with this tool and find the ones that have the best and most stable growth. You also save a lot of time, especially with the weekly trend reports that break down every single topic included on that report, but also the trends database, which will also save you tons of time, since you don't need to type every single trend that you want to research. And you can actually find new trends without randomly searching. With all of that trend and topic data, you can take more data-driven decisions. Another great benefit is market expansion, since you can find a lot of hidden and under the radar markets or markets that haven't blown up yet. This also allows for strategic innovation, obviously because you can find trends. That means that you can also find and develop new strategies that not a lot of people have seen from your competitors. Now here are some considerations or some things that you should bear in mind when considering purchasing Exploding Topics Pro. Some can partially be cons of the product, but they mostly have to do with your approach and how you take advantage of the software. First, as we know, software as a service products come with a cost that's usually a subscription, which means that you need to have at least some cash flow to pay for that expense that will later on provide you with valuable information and also more profit. Then another thing you should consider is information accuracy or execution. Not all trends may lead to success, even if the information was 90% accurate, because you do have the data, but then the execution of your strategy and the way that data reflects into the consumer may be different, so you may actually have very successful campaigns, but not all of them might work the way you expect them to. Plus, that's also down to execution. If you execute in a certain way, you might have more success, even though you have all the previous research done right. Something else you might struggle with is data overload. Since you have a lot of data regarding trending topics and a bunch of metrics, it might be harder to prioritize what are the most important topics or what you should do first. But the best way to overcome that is to have a system that you follow. One of the things that I like to do, which is more related to SEO, is to create a keyword blueprint or a keyword map where I just lay out all of the keywords and then I choose the very best ones that both have a combination of good demand, good metrics, good volume, and also are close enough to the type of content that I create so that they can be viable for campaigns, for content marketing and SEO purposes. And then I would put some of the most important metrics right besides that. Then after selecting the most promising keywords or topics, I would set up a smaller table with those most important topics already picked up. And then I would have another column with some of the most important metrics. Then I would sum up all of the total, and then I can estimate how much I can make by looking at the total growth or looking at the total volume, which will give you an estimation of how much traffic you can get. Market timing is also very important, so what the tool helps you do is find those trends and see how much demand they have, but the timing is up to you. You gotta make sure you can still explore those trends while they are still growing in popularity and not end up actually doing the execution when the trends already peaked or are decreasing in popularity. Then there's another thing, which is risk assessment. Not all trends are low risk and you may need further research, especially if you are in a business or larger organization where the decisions trickle down and affect everything else. So you need to choose very carefully where you apply your resources, whether that's in form of a budget, money, or time. If you want to try out Exploding Topics, you can click on the link down in the description to get access to that 14-day trial for just $1. You can test all of those features and you can cancel at any time if it's not a good fit for you. You can also check out the Exploding Topics Pro demo video to know exactly what each one of the features can do for you, even without opening or signing up to the trial. That video will be linked in the description, also on the card up top and on the Exploding Topics playlist. And that about wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.